Hello everybody, welcome along. Thanks so much for joining us today. You're listening to Lucia Gianmarco. I will briefly introduce myself before beginning. I'm a coach and CEO of Essentials Life Coaching, a company based in Dubai, and together with my team, we develop coaching programs for individuals, teams, and leaders. To give you some background on myself, I have experience in both business development team and individual coaching and training. I received my degree in economics in Italy, in my capital city, Rome, and then I moved to London when I started my career in the world of business development services for foreign companies entering the UK market. My passion for coaching really kicked off only when I moved to Dubai, where I currently reside with my husband. It was actually in Dubai where I had the opportunity to meet with new talents in coaching, to the point that we decided to put our resources together and create our new team development programs. Totally innovative way of enhancing both individual and team potentials, and successively coming up with our webinar programs called The Essentials for Freedom. The Essentials for Freedom talks about how transcendent values can impact your life, free yourself from your limited self-beliefs, bring higher business performance and prosperity, make you face challenges as opportunities to grow and develop an extraordinary creative mind that you would never have thought you had. Today the topic is about gratitude as a powerful tool to increase communication, leading to a better performance at work and in daily life. It is the first of a series of topics which essentially put into light how our attitude towards ourselves and others can deeply influence our environment, how they can influence performance at work at any level of our career, and how they can be used as a breakthrough tools that, if used genuinely, can increase companies' profits, improve leadership skills, and yet save marriages, restore relationships, fix depressive tendencies. Indeed, how they can definitely change everyone's quality of life. In this webinar, we will talk about not only examples, but also testimonials and experiences. Now, what about the goals here? Well, we will discuss the concept of gratitude, a successful tool for personal development, and focus on the difference between the self attitude and the us and others, and in particular, the concept of oneness between us and our environment. And the second stage, we will understand the sources of gratitude and how this can positively influence our attitude towards ourselves and others, making our life and the life of the others more fulfilled. Then, we will understand how we can positively transform our workplace, win more leads, and better our reputation through developing an attitude of gratitude. And also, we will learn why the phrase "good job, well done" can be considered as the most ineffective and ridiculous phrase to thank people, or at least not the most effective. Here we will clarify, in particular, how details make the real difference. Then, we will learn how to include gratitude in our daily life, and we will learn 7 proven benefits of gratitude within the workplace. And in the end, we will include 5 gratitude habits as simple techniques to make our life much easier and happier. One last thing before we start, check our website for more information on what we do at www.essentialslifecoaching.com, or email me at lucia@essentialslifecoaching.com for any question or clarification. I love receiving emails and I would love to hear from you. So you're very welcome to get in touch. And last but not least, before starting, I would like to thank my colleagues, always supportive in doing our webinars, as well as all the sources we collected in order to present the session as detailed as possible. Now, I would like to read you a short, simple but significant fable written by the writer Aesop during the century of ancient Greece, entitled The Lion and the Mouse, and it tells: Once, when a lion was asleep, a little mouse began running up and down upon him. This soon wakened the lion, who placed his huge paw upon him and opened his big jaws to swallow him. "Pardon, O king," cried the little mouse. "Forgive me this time. I shall never forget it. Who knows but what I may be able to do your turn some of these days." The lion was so tickled at the idea of the mouse being able to help him that he lifted up his paw and let him go. Some time after, the lion was caught in a trap, and the hunters, who desired to carry him alive to the king, tied him to a tree while they went in search of a wagon to carry him on. Just then, the little mouse happened to pass by, and seeing the sad situation in which the lion was, went up to him and soon yawned away the ropes that bound the king of the beasts. "Was I not right?" said the little mouse. The moral, my friend, is little friends may prove great friends. And also we might say, gratitude is so powerful to save our life in the worst of the circumstances. So, how being grateful comes to be an extraordinary transcendent value able to positively transform our life? Well, the answer resides in the fact that, despite of how many go-to-hell imprecations we throw at the others, it's not difficult to visualize the typical Monday morning queue for going to work in the middle of the traffic jam, when everyone seems to go slower than us or not being able to drive a car like we are able to. The reality is that our lives are supported by an intricate web woven by the effort of countless human beings. According to this article on Google that I found quite enlightening, the unseen daily exertion of others are behind each of the innumerable elements that sustains and enhance our daily existence, from the food we eat to the products we use. That's why gratitude can be considered as a joyful recognition of the facts of life. If we find this difficult to comprehend as a key point of the topic, let me introduce the phenomena of oneness of life and its environment, an ancient Buddhist principle from the old-time monks of the 5th century before Jesus Christ. The principle clarified the connection between all human beings and the phenomena that happen within their environment every day. It says, the cause of our joy and sorrow originate with us. And it also says, when we base ourselves on this principle, seeing our environment as a reflection of our inner life, hence our inner condition or mood, we are able to take full responsibility for our lives and in this way become empowered to solve our problems and create positive outcomes in the situations in which we find ourselves. Basically, every day in our life, we are constantly putting ourselves in front of a mirror. Every time we confront ourselves with the society, a mirror reflects us through reacting to the actions of the others and the other way around. But what if this principle of oneness between us and our environment was right? Well, according to it, if we follow this logic, the self would be a temporary phenomenon, a non-permanent combination of matter and mental, spiritual functions, body and mind? And if so, what if we arrive to the consideration that we separate from others only within the boundaries of our skin? What if our actions influence ourselves and our environment so that to create a mutual interdependence between the two? Well, in this case, we can easily jump into the conclusion that if we change ourselves, and with this I include our attitude towards others, our circumstances will inevitably also change. I will give you an example. Imagine we are living a certain state, whether good or bad. If we were experiencing a hellish internal life state, this will be reflected in our surroundings and in how we respond to events. Likewise, when we are living a state full of joy, the environment reflects this reality. Indeed, if our basic tendency is toward the life state focused on compassion, we will enjoy the protection and support of the world around us. By elevating our basic life state in substance, by empowering our capabilities to be proactive and to take actions as protagonists of our own life state, we can transform our external reality. But let's put into light when the gratitude has its own origin. In the old centuries, where Asian monks described 3 categories of people on whom our life depends and to whom we owe gratitude. These are, in the language of their time, of course, the sovereign, the teacher, and the parent. What is this telling us? Our gratitude towards our parents is elemental, since it is through them that our individual lives arose and that we are connected to the larger web of existence. The teacher, in this context, refers specifically to one's mentoring practice of what we both are doing, along with trust in what the mentor teaches us. In a broader sense, it refers to the indispensable role of education in human life and all those who help shape the development of our character through their positive influence. The sovereign, in contemporary context, refers to the society itself. Now, if we relate these metaphors to current daily life, we can say that being grateful towards the closest people to us, which are our parents, can help us develop trust and confidence towards the people we will decide to surround ourselves by. Also, referring to the second term teacher, this symbolizes the people covering a superior role in our work environment, no matter if this seems right or wrong to us. Developing a sense of gratitude towards them will help us creating synergy and a sense of respect in our work environment. And the third, the sovereign, represents the political situation we are in. Showing a sense of gratitude towards whom who take political decisions for the nation, no matter if they result right or wrong to us, gives a huge contribution to the objective of cohabitating harmoniously with the other citizens, and also, in some cases, it can lead politicians to a better performance at work and deliver effective results. Now, let's take some time off from listening and let's do a simple exercise. You can also organize it with your friends and relatives, as well as with your team members. It's called Gratitude Jar. Enjoy! Now that we touched the first point of our webinar, I would like to mention a phrase that caught my attention while reading an article about the benefits of gratitude. It says, "Being grateful means living in accordance with the universe." Said so, we can now say that maintaining a sense of appreciation connects our life to this impulse to establish a sort of agreement with the universe. To honor and act on that sense of appreciation, to repay one step of gratitude, is to act in accordance with the core direction of the cosmos. The reason? Because this is the only way to make the universe itself our friend, able to support us in any challenge, able to convey the right things at the right moment for our own happiness, no matter if they seem right or wrong to us. And then we realize that it is to go on the opposite way of our traditional tendencies, to make efforts to develop our character, to support that which enhances and oppose that which diminishes life, to take action based on a courageous and humanitarian spirit. This is what gives full, beautiful expression to our humanity and the inherent dignity of life. At this point, we can push ourselves even more forward, and we can say that peace and the transformation of society begin from the exercise of this spirit in our immediate surroundings. Now let's mention some statistics. Statistics show that expressing gratitude improves, to sum up, our ability to divert behaviors like fear, blame, and anxiety. And it's also an important tool, as we discussed, in driving workplace productivity. In 2017, Gallup reports on the state of the American workplace how engaged employees are responsible for the majority of the innovation and productive energy driving highly successful organizations. Yet, 7 in 10 workers were characterized as not engaged or emotionally disconnected from their team and workplaces. Hence, we can say it is crucial to team success that leaders develop the strengths and enhance the well-being of their employees, conveying the message that the work, time, and effort provided by employees, valued and appreciated by management, is a big part of this. One of the most cost-effective and impactful ways of encouraging and developing this kind of employee engagement is through gratitude. Cost-effective. And here comes my favorite part. The research continues saying that in order to foster a culture of gratitude in the workplace, we must first evaluate how it operates in our own life. What are we grateful for? Do we have a grateful attitude? Do we practice showing feelings of appreciation? Moreover, at the end of this article, we read, "It's important to remember that we can't motivate others. We can only create environments that are motivating." Employees, indeed, want to do their best and value acknowledgement and appreciation of their contributions. In the context of a work team, this of course encourages synergy, improves decision-making, and enhances performance. And what shocks the most in this research is that the number one benefit of gratitude is that we can't feel gratitude and be miserable at the same time. This means that being more grateful and expressing it is a part of happiness, and not surprisingly, also important to being really successful. Now, if you feel like, here I proposed you another interesting exercise. It's called Gratitude Rock. Enjoy the moments of work together, and I'll see you right after. But let's talk now about the third point of our webinar: how gratitude can nowadays transform our workplace into an harmonious environment in which we deliver better results. Well, we can start by mentioning a person that I estimate very much, consultant Stephanie Pollack, American attorney, leader at CLF Conservation Law Foundation, and New England's leading environmental advocacy organization. When Stephanie was brought in to work with the state chapter of a national non-profit, morale was really low. The organization was in the middle of a transformation that brought in new leadership, a new culture, new rules, and lots of tension and uncertainty. Her task? To teach appreciation and gratitude. Over the course of a 3-day retreat, she taught a small group of reluctant employees about the benefits of recognizing the good things in their life and saying thank you. And something suddenly shifted. After one person wrote a genuine note of thanks on an appreciation wall, soon everyone was participating. But what really surprised Stephanie was the connection and authenticity that appreciation seemed to inspire. At the end of the retreat, some of the more closed-off employees opened up about the feelings and past experiences that had created their hard shells. Pollack recounts that they walked in with a lot of tension and frustration, and she follows, "I'm not saying they walked out with known, but there was a willingness on everyone's part to move forward together in a different way." And what about gratitude in neuroscience? Basically, what's the impact of gratitude in our brain connections? Researchers in neuroscience say that by mixing up some neurochemical cocktails, we can enhance employee engagement and organizational performance. Let's have a look at this slide, representing a molecule of dopamine. Keep in mind this image of a brain chemical. Whether expressing gratitude for what's good in life or showing gratitude to someone who has helped us at work, neural circuitry in our brain releases dopamine. Dopamine basically makes us feel good, and because it feels good, we want more. It triggers positive emotions. We feel optimistic, and it fosters the spirit of the team. It also drives pro-social behaviors. And now, let's also look at this molecular structure and keep in mind this second image. When we reflect on or write down the positives in life and at work, our brain, the anterior cingulate cortex, releases serotonin. Serotonin enhances our mood, our willpower, and motivation. And yes, serotonin has also been called the happy molecule. So what's so bad about happy employees? To close this topic, the more we activate these circuits, the stronger these neural pathways become, and the more likely we are to recognize what's going right instead of always looking at the problem. From a neuroscientific view, indeed, neurons that fire together, wire together. That's where neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new neural connections throughout life, comes in. Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? But this is another story. I will digress if I go on with this. Exercise moment, guys. Again, whenever you feel like, read this other interesting exercise. It's called Gratitude Tree. Enjoy! Now that we are aware of the impact of gratitude in our daily life, Let's list some benefits in order to keep them in our mind, especially in the most challenging times. First of all, gratitude opens the door to more relationships. What I mean by that is not only does saying thank you constitute good manners, but showing appreciation can help you win new friends. In other words, thanking a new acquaintance makes them more likely to seek an ongoing relationship. So, whether you thank a stranger for holding the door or send a thank you note to that colleague who helped you out with the project, acknowledging other people's contribution can lead to new opportunities. Secondly, gratitude improves physical health. Grateful people experience fewer aches and pains and report feeling healthier than other people. Not surprisingly, grateful people are also more likely to take care of their health. They exercise more often and are more likely to attend regular checkups, which is likely to contribute to further longevity. And third, gratitude improves psychological health. Indeed, gratitude reduces a multitude of toxic emotions, from envy and resentment to frustration and regret. Robert Emmons, a leading gratitude researcher, has conducted multiple studies on the link between gratitude and well-being. His research confirms that gratitude effectively increases happiness and reduces depression. Then gratitude enhances empathy and reduces aggression. Well, grateful people are more likely to have a pro-social behavior, where by pro-social I intend a social behavior that benefits others or society as a whole, even when others behave less kindly. According to recent studies in USA, study participants ranked higher on gratitude scales were less likely to retaliate against others, even when given negative feedback. They experienced more sensitivity and empathy towards other people and a decreased desire to seek revenge. Then grateful people sleep better. Writing a gratitude journal improves sleep. Spend just 15 minutes jotting down a few grateful sentiments before bed, and you might sleep better and longer. And then, gratitude improves self-esteem. Gratitude increases athletes' self-esteem, for example, an essential component to optimal performance. Other studies have shown that gratitude reduces social comparisons. Rather than becoming resentful towards people who have more money or better jobs, which is a major factor in reduced self-esteem, grateful people are able to appreciate other people's accomplishments. But let's see, at this point of our research, how we can be more grateful and what we can bring home after this webinar. And so, we can identify these 6 gratitude habits as simple techniques that can be very useful for us. Number 1, be positive. Choose your mood, smile, be sincere in showing your appreciation. Learn to show gratitude as a way of connecting with your work team. 2, use encouragement. Appreciate the things your team members or employees do best. When someone does something kind, amazing, or difficult for you or others on the team, recognize it and be specific. A generic "good job" doesn't mean as much as the image you chose for slide 4 told the perfect story. It added so much value to the presentation. 3, be proactive. Model gratitude in the workplace and encourage team members to do the same. If you're part of running a meeting, keep it short and sweet to to show others that you appreciate and respect their time. Be gracious when accepting gratitude. This may take some practice. Simply saying thank you is often enough. Acknowledge your part and others in the bigger picture. 4. Use your words wisely. Compliment instead of complain. Focus on what was done well instead of what wasn't. Appreciate intentions, even when the outcomes aren't exactly what was expected. 5. Customize the gratitude you show each individual. Some employees will like public praise or compliments. Others will prefer tangible things, like a handwritten note or an email to senior leaders. Be specific and measurable in showing gratitude to someone, as there are all types of ways to do this genuinely and effectively. And then 6, figure out how to spread this idea and keep the ripple effect of gratitude going. Pay attention to workplace behaviors, outcomes, processes, and styles that are positive, successful, and well done. Share your observation with others. Express your appreciation often, and remember to ask yourself, what are you thankful for? Here's now a 4th exercise to do if you like. It's called Write an Email or Letter. It is followed by a questionnaire that you might want to do. Enjoy, guys! You want also to write all of your accomplishments and actions on a paper regularly, and might want to do it for several times. You will see how easy is life to talk and how difficult it is to make. But once you go on with this, you will feel much more confident, and you will see how your new attitude will get strong and naturally part of your daily life. To help you out with this, in the following slides, I propose you a questionnaire in order to not to get off track and bring our new habits to our journeys at work, with family, or just with yourself. So feel free to answer by sending an email to my address that I mentioned one more time here, lucia@essentialslifecoaching.com. I'll be more than happy to answer to all of your emails and comments, as well as schedule a free coaching session. Just drop me your name and number, and I'll get in touch with you right after. It looks like we are at the end of our first topic, and before leaving you, I would like to thank you so much, everyone, for the attention dedicated and your subscription to the next topic of our program. Stay safe and stay tuned.